Good morning, everyone. Can you hear me?
Yes, doctor, good morning.
Very good morning to everyone.
Yes.
Okay, so this is our um, third class, right? Been together for over the past 2 weeks. We've been doing a lot, and we even had like a master class last week. Did you all attend the master class on, was it Wednesday or it was on Thursday? Did you guys
On
attend?
Thursday.
Um,
Yes.
Yes, Thursday at 3.
Yeah, okay. So did you like the class? I think it was lovely. We spoke about lots of issues, right? And you guys were brilliant too. You kind of brought lots of issues to the table and you were just amazing. Thank you for that. Before we have substance and before we talk about what we have to talk about today, which is obviously Tom's Midnight Garden. Let's, for perhaps a couple of minutes, talk about the Jahiziyya exam, the job market readiness exam that you are scheduled to go through on Thursday. Do you know that it is on Thursday? Is it Thursday? It's on the 7th. So the 7th would be what? Let me check. Don't want to give you wrong information. It's uh, it's on the 7th. Did you still remember the timetable that I shared with you?
Uh, 17.
Si- Are you sure?
Yes.
Well, it's not the 7th, like I'm saying, huh?
No.
Okay. Right. Anyway, again, I want you to kind of prepare. We have provided you with all the material. You also have the videos and of the workshops that we have conducted. Very beneficial, very well researched. And I'm sure you will take them with you beyond the Gahiziyya exam because they are just rich and very useful. Okay, so it's
Doctor?
this. Yeah, go ahead.
Yes, my brother's in the hospital, so I'll be going there. I'll try to stay connected to the call, but if it doesn't, like if it disconnects me because the internet is going to be significantly weaker, is that going to affect my attendance or something?
Are you Nora?
Yes, I
Nora?
am.
That's fine. And أهم حاجة أخوك إن شاء الله يبقى بالسلامة. Don't worry يعني. ممكن
All right,
you don't
thank
have
you.
to even attend. مفيش مشكلة. بس طمنينا
Okay.
بعدين. ألف سلام عليك.
Allah
Okay.
يسلمك.
Okay. طيب. So now that the Jahiziyya part is behind us, let's move to something else, which is obviously Tom's Midnight Garden. I have given you enough time to go through the novel, to perhaps watch the movie, because there was a movie together with the explainers, the visual explainers that I created for you, and they are on my channel. And you also have my videos, right? The videos of previous semesters, very rich, very informing, and I'm hopeful that you found the time to do all of the above. I know it's a little bit ambitious, or perhaps too ambitious, but I know you can do it. So let's talk about that aspect. So how many of you have gone through, perhaps out of curiosity, have gone out of their way and perhaps gone to the channel and perhaps went through the videos and the recordings and everything in between. Have you done any of that? Can you say yes or no? Because I'm not asking philosophical questions yet. Have you perhaps gone over the recordings? Let's do now the recording of this semester. Sehrish, you did that? You have gone over the videos? Nice. Okay. The archives or the videos of this semester? Because we have done a lot this semester. I think we have 3 classes. Yeah, and I'm focused now on Tom's Midnight Garden, and I'm focused on the 3 classes, the 3 recordings that we have done together, and you have them either on Teams or even on my channel. So have you gone through those 3 videos, 3 recordings? Everyone?
No,
Mm, No, no, not yet, perhaps.
not yet.
No. Okay. So I don't want you to wait until they accumulate and they become so big, and you won't be able to cover all of them and process all of them. But take one at a time. We still have time. You can still go and read and watch and engage with them before they become 5 and 6 and 7 and 8, right? I'm assuming that the only thing that you're doing in life is coming to classes and studying, and except for the few who are perhaps already working as perhaps teachers or I don't know what else. Other than that, you guys are, yani most of you are students, and your job is to attend classes and then reflect on those classes. If there are recordings, you go and listen, and listen to and watch them. If there is secondary material that should be read, you go and read it. But obviously, you're not doing any of that. So I'll give you the benefit of the doubt because perhaps the transition between the first semester and the second was not smooth, at least the period you didn't have time to relax. Perhaps you're in the hangover period of the first semester. That's fine. Anyway, so it's Tom's Midnight Garden, and what did we say? What did we say about Tom's Midnight Garden? Because we said a lot in so little time. Come to the mic and share. What do you know about Tom's Midnight Garden? Whether from my class or you have ears enough, you have eyes enough. I'm sure you have heard of the novel here or there. I'm not assuming that you read it. I don't want to get disappointed.
It's fiction.
Yeah, it is fictional. Yeah, it is. It is a novel, and typically novels are fictional. Yeah, unless you mean it's fantastic, it's a fantasy. I think yeah, Najd, you mean, or Najd, I think you mean it's a fantasy, right?
Yes.
Yes, okay. It is a fantasy indeed. And when it is a fantasy, so we have elements that connect it to the world of fantasy. So what are those elements that connect this novel to the world of fantasy? What is the most remarkable element in order for it to qualify as a fantasy? It has to have what, and whether it has this what or not. Come to the mic. Come to the mic. Come to the mic. I told you that it's very disruptive if people write and then I have to go and check and then so come to the mic and obviously it's a free space. We're not judging. So come to the mic and speak. If you cannot or do not want to exercise speaking now, when will you speak? You're leaving us. You're graduating everyone. So come to the mic and share. Everything is good. This is literature, and with literature, we don't tax or judge people. So Najd said that this is fantastic. This novel belongs to the realm of fantasy, and I am asking everyone about those things that connected to the world of fantasy. So Reem, come to the mic and share.
It's about a story about a lonely child
No, no,
who lives.
Reem, please. I don't want you to tell me the story yet. I'll ask you to tell me the story, but this is not my question. My
Wait, sorry.
question,
انقطع الاتصال وانت تتكلم
طيب
هسه
طيب.
بس السؤال.
Okay, so I'll ask you again and you tell me. I know that you will. Where I mean, Najd said that this is a fantasy novel. It's a fantasy. And I asked her why you're saying it is a fantasy. And I'm asking everyone, what connects this piece of work to the world of fantasy? Because it has this or that element. So what are
Yes,
those? Yeah, yeah, go ahead. Yeah,
yeah,
Reem.
because in this story, he can go between past and present.
Yeah,
Uh,
which is very fantastic. And fantastic not as good or interesting. By fantastic here, I mean uh, it's unrealistic, right? It's something that you wouldn't
It
think
doesn't
of.
belong to the real life.
Yeah, yeah, it's not
yeah,
realistic. Yeah, yes. Okay, yes. So the idea of moving between the present and the past, right?
yes.
Nice. Okay. So what other elements that binds this piece of work to the fantastic?
Magic and
Um,
adventure.
Yeah, that's yeah, um, yeah, moving to the past. You said, and how? Let's talk about the tool. Let's talk about the facility that made this happen. He needed what?
daydreaming, maybe.
May I answer,
Yeah,
doctor?
yeah. Go ahead. Yeah, Najd wanted to say something.
He's daydreaming. He's running away from reality.
Yeah, this is yeah, okay, but you still you need something physical that can take him to the past.
Me, I have an
Yeah,
answer. Okay.
Can I
Yeah,
yeah,
answer,
go ahead.
doctor?
the magical garden that
Yeah, we
he
have an
sees when he
absolutely
sleep or
yes. The
midnight.
yeah, we have the magic or the magical garden. Yeah, very good. Okay. So again, magical gardens, moving and traveling to the past. Obviously, these are not very realistic. Okay, so this is what binds this novel to um, fantasy and the imagination. Um, okay, so you have a magic garden, and obviously this is not new. This is not unprecedented. We have in that tradition, we also have novels that also would take us to the past in a magical kind of way. Um, okay, the novel itself has elements of the fantastic in them. Again, the you have the magical garden. Um, what did we call this? What do we call it when you move to the past? Of course, the novel is a narrative because we're narrating, we're telling a story, right? We call it a narrative. Okay, and because we're slipping into the past, we call it slip narrative, right? Yeah, Mariam, go ahead.
Time traveling?
Excuse me.
Time
Yeah,
traveling?
yeah, time traveling is the layman expression, but in literature we call it slip narrative, time slip narrative. Are you the Mariam that I know from previous semesters? Did I teach you something before, ya Mariam?
No, I don't think so.
Okay, so obviously a different Mariam. Okay, so time slip, time slip narrative, where we have this journey to the past. Obviously, this is, like I said, unrealistic, not probable. Again, you have to suspend your disbelief. Judging it and saying, ah, this is not realistic, and you dismiss it as perhaps trash. No, this is considerable literature and it's there. And remember, we also associated it with children, especially because what children can accept what we don't accept as adults, right? Um,
Yeah,
yeah, go
but I
ahead.
think it's also creative, even for children literature, because it actually blends reality with the impossible. Because I read half the story, and I really like the idea that when the clock turned to 13, something weird happened with the garden. It's changed the place.
Yeah. And it has also a name. So we said that it's magical and fast and fantastic, but it is also rooted in reality. That's why we call it magic realism. If you're familiar with people like Salman Rushdie, for example, and other fantastic writers, you know about that. I mean, where obviously the move between reality and the world of fantasy is felt very heavily. Um, okay, so we have a magical garden that would take Tom, and obviously it's not only Tom. We need a guide. We need somebody that can guide him, and the guide here is none other than Hattie. So how much do we know about Hattie so far?
May I answer, Doctor?
Yeah, go ahead.
She's a girl from the past, and she's also the girl that Tom's enter her memories. And we can
Mm,
notice that, we can see different aspects from her life when she was a child, when she was teenager. So I think she's the main character because I feel like it's the story's about her journey in life.
Yeah, this is a question that we asked, I think, and I asked those who attended with us in the master class whether Hattie can lay a claim to the title. Why the title is Tom's Midnight Garden and not Hattie's Midnight Garden, right? Again, yes, the stuff of the dream, if we consider what happened was a dream, is Hattie's stuff, her past, and what she went through, the miseries that she had to endure, and the so many losses of loved family members, right? So, I mean, the whole traumatic experience that she went through, obviously, had it not been for Hattie, we wouldn't have Tom and the transformation that we're talking about. Remember that this is, in one sense, a novel of education, or what we call a Bildungsroman. It's a German Bildungsroman, and Bildungsromans are novels where you see the evolution of the main character. You're going with him through the trajectory of his life. It's more like a metaphorical journey from a stage where he is grumpy, he's not accepting of lots of life's realities, to a stage where he is willing to accept reality, and he is willing to accept the linearity of life, and accept other people's views, even though he does not embrace them or he does not believe in them. So the novel, in one uh, interpretation, would be a novel of education, where you have him or Tom developing. For this development and for this evolution to happen, you need a catalyst. And the catalyst here is obviously Hattie. Hattie and her past, her traumatic experiences, right? And her past, because she does not belong to the present. She belongs to the past. She is the one who belongs to the Victorian age. So it's her past that made all the difference in the transformation of uh, Tom. Um, Again, so it wouldn't have been enough to have the garden, the magical garden. You needed a playmate. Okay, and the playmate was obviously Hattie. What is fantastic about the whole thing also would be the idea that he he grew naturally like everybody else. I mean, even though in terms of physical growth we haven't seen much, but in terms of intellectual growth and maturity we have seen a lot. We have seen him developing and growing, if intellectually. But Hattie grew um, physically in terms of age, and her growth was exponential, like we say, in the sense that they started together, but she grew up and became a girl or a woman, and she was getting ready to get married to her lover, and then she even grew beyond that, and she became Mrs. Portlomu, the landlady. So this is also fantastic, right? Because people don't grow this way. I mean, people take their sweet time to grow from one stage of life to another. This is also an element of the fantastic in the novel. So again, coming back to my point about Hattie and how important Hattie is. Again, I'm stressing the fact that Hattie is um, a catalyst. She's not there to fill a void or a space. She's there because if she's not there, the whole fabric of the novel would crumble and collapse. Um, So again, it's her past that Tom is visiting. And that also would kind of bring us to the idea of whether you have to live through traumatic experiences to learn a lesson or two. Do you have to physically suffer? Do you have to psychologically suffer so that you can learn a lesson or two, and that can lead you to realize and to have epiphanies of realization and understanding? And I'm asking everyone whether uh, people have to mm, kind of live through traumas and bad experiences to learn, or would it be also possible that you hear other people talk about their miseries and their suffering, what they have gone through, and you can learn and you can develop based on those stories? What do you think? I'm asking everyone. Yeah, go ahead.
Uh,
Yeah, Noura, go
yes,
ahead. Let's have Noura and then we listen to Fatma and everybody else. Yeah, Noura.
Yes, I don't think it's necessary that we have to suffer, but I do
Mm.
think that it offers a more profound perspective.
Yeah, if you go through the experience, if you live through the experience yourself, right?
Yes.
But again, that's why literature is very important, because when you read literature, for example, and you read about people's experiences in life, the good and the bad and the ugly, you learn a lesson or two, right? Yeah, okay. Yeah, somebody else wanted to comment. Come to the mic and share.
yeah, sometimes when you don't listen from the stories, uh, life may put you in hard situations to learn your lesson and move on with your life.
Are you confirming what I'm saying about you also hearing other people and their stories, their sad stories, and learning from that? Or are you saying that you have to live through the experience yourself, yeah, Fatima?
You have to live through the experience itself.
Mm-hmm. Well, actually, this is not what is happening in the novel. Let's have Sadim and then I'll talk about that. Sadim, go ahead.
Yes, hello. I want to add more information.
Yeah,
Uh,
please.
Tom saw Hattie crying at the grave when she was a young child because her parents died. We discovered that Hattie is emotional and cries easily.
Yeah. Would that add to what we're saying? Yeah, perhaps it's another aspect. That's something that we'll talk about in a couple of
May I
minutes or
answer,
so.
doctor?
Yeah, but guys, I'm not asking questions. I am engaging in a conversation with you. So don't take it that I'm asking you a question. No, we're freely talking. Yeah, we're discussing something. So if you would like to come, yeah, come. Don't say may I. Just يعني come to the mic and share. Yeah, go ahead. Yeah, who is that?
Hajar.
Yeah, Hagar. Go ahead, yeah. Hagar.
Well, I personally believe that people will learn through experience because, as the Aristotle says, that learning does not come from a theory alone, but you need to experience and practice. Because we heard a lot of stories, but stories sometimes are not enough for people to learn, you know? So experience leads to true understanding.
Well, perhaps I didn't frame the question well. I didn't mean it to be like a binary either or.
You
I'm
mean
trying.
what
Yeah,
is related to the story itself?
yeah. And I'm talking about you have a friend, and the friend went through bad experiences and traumatic ones. So you are with her all the time. You listen to her, she shares with you, and you are, and I'm saying that can we learn from that? Can this transform us? Or do we have to live through those miseries ourselves, those traumas ourselves? I didn't mean it to be a binary. It can be both, right?
Yeah, exactly. Well,
Yes,
yeah, we could learn lessons from those stories.
yes. Let's apply this to Tom. Reem, I think, wanted to say something.
Yeah, I disagree. I have to live the struggle or the trauma to learn from it. That's about me, but I don't know about other people.
Well, if you don't learn from what people, lessons from other people's experiences, obviously, because our lives can be short. Our lives, I mean, you don't have much exposure to outside reality, so you wouldn't have the whole experience. So that's why we have forms of expression like literature. Why do people write literature? Why do novelists and playwrights write? I mean, obviously, part of what they are doing, they are sharing with us, whether their experiences or experiences of others, the experience that they think happened to others, right? So, um, again, if you perhaps we have a new perspective if you insist on the fact that you have to go through the experience yourself. So obviously, with Tom, you have a different or a fresh perspective on this idea of lived experiences because when you read the novel, you'll find that Tom didn't go through those hardships and traumatic experiences himself. It's Hattie who went all through those, lived through those bad and traumatic experiences, losing loved ones and having hardships of all sorts and types. Okay, so obviously, what happened with Tom is that he got affected and got influenced by those experiences, and perhaps he started to realize that if he compare what he is struggling with those struggles of Hattie, obviously his struggles and his problems are nothing. They pale by comparison, like they say. So what were remember if you go back to the novel, let's talk about his struggles. What were his problems? And let's compare that to those of Hattie. What do you think? Still remember those who have,
I feel
yeah.
Hattie and Tom have several things in common, but what Tom suffered from is loneliness. He was
Mm-hmm.
lonely. And he
Yes.
also wants to escape from adults' control since
Mm-hmm.
his auntie was controlling his sleep schedule and the things that he eats. And he also have a desire for friendship because he felt lonely. So seeing Hattie makes him feel, he could understand her emotion because they both have things in common.
Yeah, he
And
could
also
relate. Yeah.
childhood. Yeah, and also childhood and imagination because he wants to play, he wants to explore, so he have a good sense of imagination.
Yeah, true. Yeah. Again, I'm stressing the fact that both have gone through hardships. But again, if we compare those hardships, obviously, Tom's hardships cannot compare with those of Hattie. He was lonely. I mean, the only hardships that I can think of, perhaps the two or three hardships that he went through, was the fact that he was separated from his brother, the fact that when he went to his uncle and aunt's house, he didn't feel that he belonged over there. He felt that he was exiled, that this is also the word that was exactly used in the novel. I mean, even when he was kind of, I wouldn't say discussing things because he was small. When they engaged in talk about things, we can feel and sense that there is divergent views. They think of time differently. They think of the imagination differently. So obviously these are his only concerns and problems. Compare that to Hattie's problems and concerns and traumas, right? So again, I'm
Yes.
trying to drive home the idea that it wasn't the experiences that Tom went through on his own that shaped him. What really shaped him are the experiences of Hattie, right? Again, they also developed this human connection. At one point, they were the same age until she decided to grow up beyond recognition and beyond measure. Um, Again, I'm talking about this idea of companionship. Again, the more close or the closer you are to a person, the more you learn from him and about him or her for that matter, of course. So again, I'm talking about how transformative Hattie is. And I'm stressing the fact that it's Hattie's material that even fills the void in the novel. Again, it's her stories, her experiences, what she went through that fills the novel, that fills the mind of Tom and transforms him the way we see. So obviously, the Tom that we see at the beginning is totally different from the Tom that we see at the end, and obviously, the main catalyst here, the main force here is Hattie and her experiences and traumas. Um, Again, we're talking about also human connection, the fact that had it not been for this companionship between Tom and Hattie, we wouldn't have this slip to the past because make no mistake about it, it's the past of one side, which is Hattie's past. Um, Again, we said that this is all meant to tell us something. The novel is a statement in and of itself, and it is a statement of um, disillusionment and frustration. We said that the novel was set and written in the 50s of the past century, and this was the aftermath of the Second World War when it is true that Britain came out of the war, emerged victorious, but obviously this was on perhaps on paper. In the reality was different. The infrastructure was demolished. The services were not up to the standards. There were high rates of unemployment. People were not happy, obviously. So the novel was a statement. So Philippa Pierce is obviously trying to say that we're this is not that Britain that we were promised. We were promised the world. We were promised better services, better living conditions. But obviously, this is not happening. So perhaps harking back to the happy old days of the Victorian age can be a diversion and can be a solution. Again, going all the way back to the past can be escapist in one sense because you're trying to fly away from the miserable here and the miserable now. And obviously, you're choosing a time where or when life was way better, uh, living conditions were better, yeah, perhaps people and the systems over there was better. So of all the time periods, Philippa Pierce chose um, the Victorian age, um, and obviously she meant something. Victorian age was a high mark in the history of Britain, given the fact that it was the time of the British Empire. They were rich, they were highly educated, they had a political stability. Queen Victoria lived and ruled for over 70 years. And she was not only ruling, she was only governing, and there is obviously a difference between ruling and governing. So governing means that she was wise. She knew how to choose her prime ministers. Um, there was also an active parliament and all those kinds of things. So obviously, going back to the Victorian age was not random. It was meant to, drive home certain messages. And um, again, you need to read the novel within and against this context, the Victorian age and what used to happen. Obviously, this is glamorizing and romanticizing the Victorian age. And this is something that some people find a little bit awkward because the Victorian age was not all honey and milk. There were also, brackets, as economic brackets and so I mean sectors in society who were also underprivileged and who were also poor and suffering and struggling and everything in between. Um, so you need to read the novel against this background. It's very important that you do that. Um, let's also uh, talk about again. I'm coming back all the time to the idea of the imagination and the hold that the imagination has on the people in the novel and even beyond, the power of fantasy and how this is manifested in the novel. You have given examples, but I perhaps when you have finished reading the novel, you will perhaps provide more manifestations and illustrations of the power that the fantastic has over even Philippa Pierce herself. I mean, the examples, um, again, you would talk about even the inconsistencies uh, in the novel, which are obviously meant, like the the clock that strikes 13. Um, so how far did you go reading the novel? So have you finished reading the novel yet?
Not yet, doctor, but I have a very little chapter and then I'm gonna finish.
Nice, good. Anybody else? Okay. طيب. I think I have something for you before we go to the break. I think I have a video explainer from last semester, and it is also about Tom's Midnight Garden. It's new. It's not something that we have done in the master class yet. Let's listen and watch and then see uh, what will come out of it. Give me a minute so that I can prepare it.
So, Doctor, the main character, is it Tom or Hattie? Because the story is told from Tom's point of view,
Yeah, it
but
is, critically, it's Tom's novel. But of course, you are entitled to your views. If you think that it's more about Hattie than about Tom, that's fine. See, that's why we started this debate on who is more worthy of being part of the title. See?
um, okay. Okay,
Yeah,
thank you, Doctor.
yeah. Can you see that?
Yes.
Yes, Doctor, we
Oh,
can.
okay. So let's see.
Hello and welcome. Today we're diving into an absolute classic of children's literature, Philippa Pierce's Tom's Midnight Garden. Now, with some help from Dr. Sameh Galil's literary analysis, we're going to unpack how this incredibly magical story is actually all about exploring some very real-world truths. Let's get into it.
Right at the heart of this novel, you've got this really powerful contrast. On one hand, there's the world that Tom is stuck in, post-war Britain. Dr. Galil describes it as just gray and disillusioned, a place full of rules, regulations, and just plain boredom. But on the other hand, you have the garden, this vibrant, timeless, magical escape that is literally everything Tom's world is not.
So, let's meet our main character, Tom. His brother gets sick and Tom gets shipped off to stay with his aunt and uncle. You can imagine, he's separated from the person he's closest to and he feels totally and completely trapped. He even uses the word exile to describe it, which tells you everything you need to know. For him, this place is a prison.
Okay, so this first section is all about exploring Tom's initial mindset. And you gotta understand, he's not just trapped in some boring apartment. No, he's trapped by this very rigid, very adult way of looking at the world.
This right here really nails the central conflict of the story. You have Tom, this kid who's just bursting with curiosity, asking these huge, amazing questions about how time and reality work. And then you have his uncle Alan, who's totally set in his ways, and he just shuts him down. He offers these cold, rigid, scientific theories that leave no room for wonder. It's what Dr. Galil calls the big generational gap.
So, how in the world does he escape this? Well, when you're a boy trapped in a world that has no room for imagination, the only way out is through a door that shouldn't even exist.
And here's the question that just blows the whole story wide open. Tom is stuck in his very linear, very predictable reality, right? But the house he's staying in holds a secret that's about to completely blur the lines between what's past and what's present.
And this is the moment. It's midnight. The old grandfather clock in the hall suddenly strikes 13 times. And just like that, the boring, concrete yard Tom's been staring at is gone. In its place is this huge, beautiful Victorian garden. It's a place from another time, and it has just broken through into his world.
Now Tom doesn't have to explore this incredible garden all by himself. This is where he meets Hattie, a lonely Victorian girl who is going to become the single most important person in his entire transformation. But you know, their friendship doesn't just happen overnight. As Dr. Galil points out, it actually starts with a lot of suspicion. I mean, they both think the other one is a ghost. But as they start having these adventures together, that doubt slowly turns into a really deep connection. They become the best of friends, even though they're separated by almost 100 years. And this quote from Dr. Galil just hits the nail on the head. He argues that Hattie is absolutely everything to this story. She's not just some side character, she's the catalyst for Tom's entire journey. Without her, the Tom we meet at the end of the book he wouldn't exist. So how exactly does she do all that? Well, Hattie is like a bridge. Through her, Tom gets to actually experience life in a different time. He sees her joys, he sees her struggles, and that's what builds his own sense of empathy. She is the absolute key that unlocks his ability to understand not just the world around him, but himself.
But look, this magical garden isn't just about having fun and playing games. It serves a much, much deeper purpose. And that brings us to the real heart of the novel, its central theme.
This story is a perfect example of what literaries call the fantastic. And that doesn't just mean ghosts or magic. No, it's a genre that uses impossible things, like a garden that appears at midnight, as a kind of lens to help us understand our own reality in a much deeper way. Dr. Galil points to this incredible quote from the scholar Jack Sipes, and it just perfectly captures the novel's message. Yeah, sure, Uncle Alan's cold, hard reason matters, but it's Tom's journey into fantasy that allows him to actually grow as a person. Imagination isn't an escape from reality, it's a tool for understanding it. So, as we get near the end of the book, these two completely separate timelines start to converge. You've got Hattie's entire life unfolding in the Victorian era, and then you have Tom's one single summer in the 1950s. And the garden? That's the magical space where their lives cross paths, all leading up to this amazing revelation. And here it is, the big twist. The world of fantasy and the world of reality just collide. Tom finally meets the mysterious old landlady of the house, Mrs. Bartholomew, and in this absolutely stunning moment, he realizes she is his Hattie, all grown up. The garden, it was her dream of the past, a dream that Tom was somehow able to walk right into.
After he figures this out, Tom he's not the same kid. He's no longer that grumpy, alienated boy from the beginning. His journey through the garden, through Hattie's memories, has given him this incredible empathy and maturity. He goes back to his own time, as Dr. Galil says, a totally changed person.
So, what's the big takeaway here? I think Tom's Midnight Garden shows us that imagination is one of the most powerful tools we have. It's not about running away from the world, it's about understanding it, connecting with people across time and experience, and ultimately learning to accept the hard parts of life, like growing up and growing old. And that leaves us with this one last, really fascinating thought from Dr. Galil. If the garden was Hattie's memory and her friendship was the key to Tom's growth, was the story ever really about him? Or maybe should the book have been called Hattie's Midnight Garden all along? Definitely something to think about.
Yeah. What do you think? I think it sums up the idea in ways that I never imagined myself, right? Or something from the past. Yeah. Hello? So what are the
Uh,
takeaways? Yeah, go ahead. Yeah,
so
Albert.
did this video explain the whole story?
Yeah.
Yeah, that was interesting.
Um, again, we'll take a but before we leave, I would like us to reflect on the video and perhaps close the gaps, things that we didn't talk about and that you have heard in the video that you would like to bring to the conversation. One takeaway from the video. I think we have enough takeaways, so I'll ask. I mean, we have as many takeaways as there are people. Yeah, Reem, go ahead.
That the garden connected Hattie and Tom back together.
Okay, it did connect them. There is this sense of companionship. Yes. Okay. Somebody else? Takeaways, anyone and everyone? Okay, so we'll, yeah, Sadim, go ahead.
Yes, Mrs. Bartamillo is the same person as Hattie.
Yeah, she developed obviously exponentially, like they say, and obviously she's perhaps the rude awakening. He has to, at one point, stop relying on other people to take decisions and transform. He has to kind of shape up. He has to realize that people have to go about in life on their own and fight their own battles. Hattie was a stage in his life, and he's now behind the stage. He has to come to terms with the fact that um, that Hattie is no more, and that the garden is no more. He has to rely on his own resources as of now and going forward, obviously. Yeah.
The
Sehrish.
video also shows that how Tom's character developed and he turned from the childhood experience to the adulthood experience by Hattie's stories and her suffer in life. And also, the good part is that Hattie is actually Miss Bartholomew that the aunt and auntie always talked about in the story, and her clock. So it's kind of interesting story. And the last question in the video was, is it supposed to be Tom's Midnight Garden or Hattie's Midnight Garden? And I personally believe that it's supposed to be Hattie's Midnight Garden, not Tom's.
Or at least Hattie can be on the title too. It can be Tom and Hattie's Midnight Garden as a compromise. How about that?
Yeah, exactly. I agree.
And then they fight over who starts. Should it be Tom and Hattie's or Hattie and Tom's, right? Okay. I
Exactly.
think I think Sehrish was raising her hand. She wanted to say something. Yeah, come to the mic, yeah, Sehrish.
The video, also the evolution of their bond. How the first time when they meet, they're suspicious of each other. They think that the other one is a ghost, and they share adventures together. That's what develops the bond. Yeah,
You
so
mean,
that
yeah,
was a
that
nice
this
thing
is, you
from
mean
the
this is
video.
how the relationship and connection
Yes,
nourished
yes,
got,
yes.
yeah,
Develop.
yeah,
Yeah, the
yeah,
evolution bond. Yeah,
yeah,
yes.
that's interesting.
But that was a nice. Yeah.
Yeah, okay, very interesting. But we'll leave it there. And we'll have like a 10-minute break, and then when we come back, we resume, inshallah. I'll see you in 10 minutes. Bye bye. Okay, I'm back. If you guys are back, raise your hand.
Yes, doctor.
Okay, good.
Yes, doctor.
Yes. Nice. So are you enjoying the ride so far? So far, so good?
Yes.
Yes.
Good. Yes. Um, I think I have this time around, I have only a short, not a long video, because it's also about the theme of today. Obviously, we're talking about two powers today. So the class today is about two competing powers. I'm going to ask you about those two competing powers in a minute, but let's um, watch the shorts and then come back and see what this whole idea about. I need, before I do that, I need to make sure that the sound is... Can you see that?
Yes, doctor, we can.
Okay, let's do it.
By Philippa Pierce.
This is
Showcases the transformative power of imagination through the
E-
Tom's Midnight Garden by Philippa Pierce showcases the transformative power of imagination through the protagonist, Tom. The magical garden, appearing only at midnight, becomes the setting for Tom's imaginative journey and personal growth. Tom's encounters with Hattie during his midnight adventures highlight imagination's ability to transcend time and forge deep connections. Exploring different eras and experiences, Tom's imagination fosters empathy and a broader understanding of the world. Through navigating the magical garden, Tom confronts fears and doubts, discovering profound insights and unraveling his identity. Tom's adventures inspire him to reassess reality, challenging preconceptions and embracing the world's magic and wonder. Ultimately, Tom learns that limitations are illusions and imagination can unlock endless possibilities and personal transformation. Tom's Midnight Garden by Philippa Pierce showcases the transformative power of imagination through the protagonist, Tom. The magical garden, appearing only at midnight, becomes the setting for Tom's imaginative journey and personal growth. Tom's encounters with Hattie during his midnight adventures highlight imagination's ability to transcend time and forge deep connections. Exploring different eras and experiences, Tom's imagination fosters empathy and a broader understanding of the world. Through navigating the magical garden, Tom confronts fears and doubts, discovering profound insights and unraveling his identity. Tom's adventures inspire him to reassess reality, challenging preconceptions and embracing the world's magic and wonder. Ultimately, Tom learns that limitations are illusions and imagination can unlock endless possibilities and personal transformation. Tom
okay. So did this add value to what you already know about the whole enterprise? So what is it that we're stressing here in the shorts? Hello? Yeah, Sarish?
Yeah, so it challenges preconceptions, and he was forced to reassess his reality and come to a conclusion that limitations are only in his mind, it's an illusion. So he can
This
achieve
is
whatever
through
he
what? So what helped him do that? The two powers that
wants.
I'm talking about in class today, what are those two competing powers that we've been talking about today?
Time.
No. And I'm asking everyone, this question is up for grabs. So two competing powers that we're talking about today. What are
Yes.
Uh,
those? And they are in the video. Yeah. Well, it's Sehrish and pretty much anybody else. That's fine.
Imagination
So the power of the imagination is one. Okay.
and childhood or friendship.
Yeah, friendship. I would call it human connection, right?
Yes.
So these are the two competing powers today. So the power of the imagination and the power of human connection, and they feature very prominently in today's conversation. We've been talking about this and that for quite some time, for much of the time today. Reem, are you raising your hand? Somebody's no, no, obviously it's not Reem. Is it Reem? Would you like to say something? Because you're
Um, Not me.
okay. So obviously it's somebody else. Okay. So this is what we are talking about, and this is what our focus has been today. Again, it's perhaps which of them comes first, the power of the imagination or human connection? Who or which is based on which? Which is more consequential, perhaps?
For me, is imagination because it wouldn't even like start the friendship without the imagination.
Yeah, because it's in the realm of the imagination that we have the magical garden, and it is in the realm of the imagination that we have this shift to the past, right?
Yes.
Had it not been for us accepting the imagination and its power, that wouldn't have all happened. Yeah, that's true. And then came the bond that they have been building together. I mean, Tom and Hattie, and through this bond, kind of Tom was given access to the past of Hattie, and he has gone through the experiences that she lived through, and again, eventually he will come out different, and this is what we're stressing. So you have this kind of union between the imagination and human connection, and obviously, the end result would be a transformed Tom, a Tom that we can hardly recognize. We can hardly recognize the Tom that we are familiar with from the beginning of the novel, because he has changed beyond recognition, I promise you. And it's not physical change that we're talking about, like what happened with Hattie. We're talking about epistemological change, if you like, where he is different in terms of what he now knows, in terms of the conclusions that he came to, in terms of uh, um, how much he realizes now about the world and its linearity, the idea of acceptance. He is now more accepting of life's reality than ever before. He is now ready to come to terms with the views of his uncle and aunt, old and traditional as they are. He is ready to start afresh and move forward. See, so these are some of the lessons that he learned, even though he didn't live through the traumas, but he learned again. I'm stressing the fact that he learned a lesson or two, and he is now totally transformed. Again, who is responsible for this transformation? It's now two things. We In the past we used to say that it's only Hattie, and I'm saying now it's not. It's not only Hattie that is responsible for the transformation. We also have the the atmosphere that he was put in, and this fantastic atmosphere that he was in. The fact that there is this power of the fantastic and fantasy and the imagination. They all conspired to make um, Tom and mold him and shape him the way that we now see at the end of the novel. So again, I'm stressing the fact that this is a metaphorical journey from ignorance to knowledge. It's an epistemological journey or pilgrimage where you start off unaware of lots of life's realities, but uh, um, you change over time. You change. You get hardened by life realities, whether those life realities and hardships are yours or somebody else's. And at the end, you're totally transformed. You're totally different. You're totally illuminated, to use Buddhist terms. You're a totally uh, different individual. So it's a whole trajectory that starts from ignorance and in knowledge and awareness and everything in between. We haven't obviously ended the conversation because it's ongoing and it has lots of ideas. And this is, by the way, the mark of a great novel. The more you read into it, the more ideas and the more insights that you come to. And this is actually, I mean, every time I teach this novel, I come up with so many ideas that are very novel and very new. I'm hopeful that you're enjoying the experience, reading the novel, watching the videos, engaging in our conversation about it. Um, so
Doctor,
yeah, go ahead.
can we say that human connection is the strongest element in the story more than imagination? Because I feel like imagination is only creating the space, but emotional connection is the emotional impact of the story that create the friendship and relationship, and even it lasts even at the end of the fantasy. The feeling of care, loss, and understanding remain. So, can we say human connection is the strongest?
Yeah, it is. Again, I'm not talking, sorry, it's about me framing it the wrong way. When I talk about the imagination and when I talk about human connection, I don't talk about them in terms of binary. Yeah, this is my mistake. I'm sorry, and I admit that I shouldn't frame it this way. What you're saying is amazing. The fact that human connection is all powerful in the novel, and it's pretty much responsible for whatever is unfolding. Again, you yourself said that the imagination created the right atmosphere. So obviously they are inseparable. You cannot think of them. I mean, obviously they are not mutually exclusive. You cannot think of human connection separate of from and independent of the atmosphere, the fantastic atmosphere that was created. Because it's like I keep stressing, it's only in this magical world that what happened happened, right? You can have
Yeah.
human connection, but it's not the right atmosphere. It's not the right, because obviously human connection is all over the place. I mean, people um, um, create bonds and as we speak, but obviously that wouldn't be enough for people to make realignment of positions in life and create adjustments and make assessments of experience. Obviously, it would need also a fertile ground and a catalyst, and these are all things that the imagination and the fantastic world created for the couple, for the two. Um, what else? Yeah, very interesting insights that you guys are bringing to the table, and I perhaps enjoyed the novel because of your discussions, because of your brilliant insights. You have the last word. Come to the mic and share something that you think we missed today. Yeah, somebody's raising her hand. We haven't heard of or from Mariam. Mariam, are you there?
Yes, I'm there. I'm just feeling a little bit sick and
I'm
I have a
sorry.
headache.
I'm sorry for that. Okay, bye.
No, that's fine.
Okay, I'm hopeful that we're not, kind of making it even worse by our organized noise. Okay. Anybody else before we call it a day? Okay. Um, okay, so I keep stressing the fact that you guys, yeah, Sadim, go ahead.
Yes, we don't talk about Hattie's cousins. She did not like playing with her cousins, and their mother
Um,
was, so she did not feel safe with them.
yeah, because this is not the end of the discussion. We still have one more class to cover everything. So today was an aspect of the novel. Today, the focus, as you have seen, is on the power or the competing powers of the imagination and human connection. Next time, we will wrap everything up and talk about fill all the gaps. I'm inviting you to the master class, inshallah, on Thursday at 3 p.m. Is it 3 or 4? It's usually
It is
4 o'clock. 4, right? We normally have it at 4. So it's four
No,
o'clock,
3
inshallah.
دكتور.
Ma'am?
أقول 3 دكتور on
I
Thursday.
don't, is it Thursday? And I'm asking, is it normally on at 3 or 4?
يوم الخميس الساعة 3.
Okay, so it's 3
yes.
p.m. inshallah on Thursday. And let me remind you of the fact that we will have our first in-class activity. And an in-class activity is a couple of questions that you answer, and those are multiple choice questions, and it's on the LMS. What do they cover? I think they cover. Um, I think they cover tops midnight. Let me check and get back to you in the WhatsApp group, inshallah. But it's something very easy, very short and sweet, and it's out of one single mark. Yeah, Fatma, go ahead.
Yeah, I want to ask, does the novel any relevant movie to watch instead of the novel?
I'm I'm not sure.
To read it?
Your voice fluctuates. It breaks. Fatma, can you ask the question again?
Yes, I'm asking about any relevant movie
Okay.
for the story to watch
You mean
in case
you
we don't
see?
have time to read it.
That's fine. If you can watch the movie, yeah, yeah. Yeah, I think somebody's keeping her mic on. Yeah, you can always, yeah, watch the movie because there are obviously different adaptations of the novel. If you can have one and you can watch it, that's fine too. But obviously, you need to always remember that now when you watch a movie, you now have two writers, not one. The original writer, the writer of the novel himself, and the director who has his or her own vision. So obviously, it's not a copy. The movie is not normally a copy and a paste of the novel. It's different because the director omits things and adds things. You need to be
Oh, it
alerted
doesn't
to that.
have the main idea. It's just the main ideas, not
And I
copy of
mean,
the
ideas
story.
and a dash extra, of course. Okay, Reem, go ahead.
Doctor, I have question about the questions and the exams.
Mhm.
Um, are we like gonna write essays about the stories we take, or it's gonna be another way of questions?
You're not, you're neither new to the place because this is your graduating semester or year, and you were not born yesterday, Reem, right?
No, but I didn't enter the first class with you. I mean first, yeah, first class.
Yeah,
So
I mean, it's pretty much what we do every semester. You have essays to write in the midterm, and in the final, obviously, you have short answers and also the midterm and the final, right?
yeah,
You
but
have,
some people say في تحليل وكذا. So yeah, I ask.
yeah, yeah. Obviously, it's not about retelling us the stories because we know the stories, right?
Yeah,
It's deeper than that. It's yeah, deeper than that.
okay.
Mm. Any
Doctor, I have a
more?
question.
Yeah, go ahead.
Is the real fantasy in the story time travel or the ability to emotionally connect through generation or across generation? Because I feel like time travel is only a machine to cause the connection that happen, but the real uh, the real fantasy is that they connect Hattie and Tom, and they understand each other. Uh, so, which one is considered a real fantasy?
Well, you're thinking in binaries all the time. Yeah. Is it Hagar?
Yes.
I would like you to get rid of this idea of binaries, either or. I mean, the two of them are very important, and the two of them complement each other. Human connection is important and is what the whole novel is about. But again, uh, um, you needed the atmosphere, you need this time travel facility so that this can happen. See?
So, Doctor, you suggest that I should not go deeper in the story?
No, 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 no. I'm saying that you're doing what I'm doing, which is the idea of framing your thinking in a binary way. You say it's either white or black. It's either the power of the imagination or the power of human connection. When in actual fact, the two of them are kind of complementary. They add value to each other. They inform each other.
Oh,
I mean,
okay.
they are not mutually exclusive, like I keep saying. You cannot think of the one without the other.
Okay, Doctor, thank you.
You're welcome. Any more questions?
Yeah, also, Doctor, I don't have the link of the WhatsApp group.
Uh, can somebody can somebody give her the link if we have the admin here? Do you have the admin today? The admin of the WhatsApp group? Who is the admin of the WhatsApp group?
Yes, doctor. I'm gonna send the link now.
Yeah, please. Thank you, Omar. You also have the link to the other group, the masterclass group, because we have created one. If you guys have the other one, that's fine too, because obviously, if she missed the one, she probably missed the other. Yeah, go ahead, Yasedim.
Yes, doctor, I have a question. When will the in-class activity be?
Obviously, we're on another planet in 10 minutes ago or so, because we said that's going to be after we finish the master class, inshallah. It's going to be at 6 o'clock, inshallah, on Thursday
Okay.
on LMS.
Doctor, is there activity on Thursday?
Yes, at 6 o'clock after we finish the in-class
Like
activity.
quiz, right?
It's not a quiz. It's a small thing out of one mark. We have eight out of, I mean, we have eight in-class activities. So we're starting this week, and every week or every other week we're taking one. Omar, did you share the link?
Yes, I did.
Okay, good. طيب يا جماعة, on this note and with this item, we'll come to the end of today's lovely class. I'll see you on Thursday in the master class. Assalamu alaikum. Bye-bye.
Alaikum assalam. Have a nice day, doctor.
You too. Bye-bye.